Paper 7, The Literatures of India, an Introduction, Part 2, Session number 40, Analysis of the Play. Dance Like a Man, the title itself suggests that a man is supposed to do the work which suits the man and not pursue their career in anything else which makes them less of a man. Here, literally, the title means to say that the protagonist's father doesn't want his son to become or behave like a woman and that he should not pursue his career in dance. Dance Like a Man is a two-act stage play. The story revolves around three generations, their personal ambition, their sacrifices, their struggle and compromises, internal conflict, and the way they cope up with life, and dance being the major topic of discussion in the house as it is a topic of debate between the father and his son and daughter in law. Dattani, in the very start of the play, puts a question on a man's identity and his sexuality. The title itself suggests so. The play deals with the self and the significance of others in a manner of gender specific roles assigned by the society and how, if you deviate from it, you are being sidelined by the people and the society. The characters whom we find in the play are Jairaj, as he plays the role of husband, and then Ratna, his wife, Amritlal, father of Jairaj, Lata, daughter of both Jairaj and Ratna, and Vishwas. When the play opens, he is a fiancé. The play loops around Jairaj and Ratna and their daughter Lata and her fiancé Vishwas. A fine meter traces the past of Jairaj, Ratna, and Amritlal Parekh, Jairaj's father, through the technique of flashback concept. Jairaj and Ratna are exposed to the wrath of Amritlal Parekh, who fails to understand their passion and their devotion towards dance, and particularly of Jairaj. Mahesh Dattani indicates the typical Indian views about dance through Amritlal Parekh, who believes that dance is made only for females. Jairaj wears the shawl. He is immediately fixed in the spotlight. The music builds up until suddenly Jati style syllables being raised can be heard. The living room now changes into a beautiful rose garden. Spotlight picks up a young man with his back to the audience, dancing. A young woman sits in front of him. Jairaj has become the father, Amritlal Parekh. Vishwas has become Jairaj and Lata has become Ratna. Their ages remain the same as the characters they played previously, but it is now 1940s. Jairaj and Ratna have to live within the domain of the patriarch Amritlal, father of Jairaj. Dance for Amritlal is a profession of a prostitute, and which is why he cannot accept his daughter-in-law learning it and is unimaginable for his son to learn it and make career out of it. Mostly this is also because he was a reformist and people would laugh at him for Jairaj's actions and his reputation would be sacrificed. He cannot tolerate the sound of dancing bells in his home and his son roaming around with thinking of bells in his leg during the practice session. His father also hates the effeminate guru that comes to their house and also the long hair that he and his son both have kept. So Ratna goes on to learn the dance from a lady who lives in a brothel. Amritlal thinks that the temples have slowly turned to brothels as they practice dance there. He forbids Ratna to visit the old Devadasi, who teaches her the old forms and techniques of Bharatanatyam, which were slowly extinguishing. Here, there are subtle signs that learning dance and having a guru like that would definitely make an effeminate man, which suggests the idea of homosexuality, though it's not explicitly mentioned anywhere in the context. As he cannot accept his son pursuing his career as a dancer, he tries all the possible means to stop him from seeking his ambition. He removes them, disowns them from his house and his property, not giving them a single penny to survive. Jairaj leaves and takes Ratna along with him, but the results are disastrous. They stay at Ratna's uncle's house and he tries to take advantage of her, and so they leave the house only to return. The court said by Amritlal to Jairaj to restrict him from dancing. A woman is man's world is considered progressive, but a man is a woman's world is considered pathetic. He then later makes a deal with Ratna. He says that he will allow her career to take off only if she helps him pull Jairaj out of his passion and make him a more manly man. The character of Ratna can be called as that of a selfish one because she agrees to her father in law's demands and also considers that there would be one less person to compete with. She constantly misguides him and plays with his emotions in spite of being his partner. Though Jairaj was a male member, he never forced his opinions on anybody, and instead of that, Ratna would always dominate and take decisions for herself, for him, and now their daughter as well. She wanted her own career to prosper, and so she willingly sacrificed her husband's career in the process. She was blinded by her passion so much so that she joined hands with Amritlal. This certainly displays the relationship she herself shared with Jairaj, which was more for her own personal motive than anything else. She married him because Jairaj himself was a dancer and he would never stop her from dancing, even after getting married. Had it been that she would have married another man, there was a possibility that she would be deprived of her career and her passion, and she would be helpless. When Jairaj possibly knew about her motives, the purpose was already achieved, that he was a failed dancer and that he did not make much out of his life. He had become an alcoholic. She constantly took advantage of Jairaj's love for her and being his wife. She pushed him into the world of dance and also knew that he was not a great dancer himself. He reached the dancers and he was just a mediocre one. She was responsible for Jaira's undoing as a character as well as dancer. Ratna here didn't stop but went on to make her daughter Lata also a traditional dancer. She used her daughter too to earn fame and money all over the world. She schemes and manipulates and uses all her contacts to put her daughter's career on the right track right from the start. She also uses the contacts to get appreciative reviews for her daughter's performance. Lata here is seen as the younger Ratna who succeeds with the help of her mother. Later in the play, Jairaj blames his wife for their son's death as she wanted to be successful and she had left him home along with a nanny. The nanny had given him a sleeping dose so that he would stop crying and that she could also sleep peacefully. But unfortunately, She gave it too much in quantity, which ultimately led to the death of their son Shankar. Jairaj blames her for his unsuccessful career and unsuccessful family and love life. Dattani uses the technique of traditional dance as a medium to portray the conflict of gender issues in the play. Hence, his plays are relevant and will be relevant even for years to come. Amrit Lal would never accept his son becoming a dancer. Ratna misguided him. Jairaj was blamed to be not being a man enough to earn and support his family. All these things led to the circumstances that show how gender stereotype works in the Indian society. As soon as Ratna exits, the garden becomes the living room. Amritlal becomes the older Jairaj as he removes the shawl. The older Ratna's voice picks up where the younger one's trails off. This is how the play continues in Act 2. These are some notable observations by Kritik Yadav Raju and Lilet Dubey. Kritik Yadav Raju also points out that Dattani implies split scene, where two different scenes are staged at different corners of the stage alternately. He also mentions the brilliant use of hidden rooms like the library, that's the practice hall for young Jairaj and young Ratna in the past, and the bedroom of Lata in the present. The use of flashback is also noted for showing the narrative of the past. Lilet Dubey recollected the impressions of the play in the statement. It's the beautifully crafted the way it moves and forth in time. Its use of one actor to play more than one role, which really tests the actor's talent, makes it as unique as does the strong characterization and the seamless movements in time. Thus, Mahesh Dattani makes use of dramatic techniques of role switching as well as switching of settings and properties in order to innovatively represent the past and the present in Dance Like a Man. Thus, the play Dance Like a Man poses serious questions on the reader's mind. It makes one think and rethink about how our actions are shaped according to the society and how one accepts them without questioning them. This conditioning, which is done right from the childhood, and it is nobody's fault, the rules were made according to the society, then, and it is impossible to stay put on them, even though, especially when the society is constantly evolving. Personally, the rules should be mended according to the situations and time period. This is what Mahesh Dattani feels. The characters are shaped in such a manner that one cannot term them as a proper white or a proper black character. It displays shades of gray.